Welcome to your home of possibilities, empowering conversations, fantastic music, chosen with you in mind. Fantastic Radio UK. Your music, your possibilities.
The poorest way to face life is to face it with a sneer. There are many men who feel a kind of twisted pride in cynicism. There are many who confine themselves to criticism of the way others do what they themselves dare not even attempt. There is no more unhealthy being, no man less worthy of respect than he who either really holds or feigns to hold an attitude of sneering disbelief toward all that is great and lofty, whether in achievement or in that noble effort which, even if it fails, comes to second achievement. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Sorry, how do I invest?
With confidence. It's not about how, it's about who with. Choose those who help you see future horizons, who keep you calm in troubled waters, and are always behind you, whatever you see. This is the secret.
Money Farm. Invest in your inner peace.
Hello?
You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby. Wait.
A mobile top-up card and 2 helium balloons, £17.
Who picks you up each time you're down? Oh baby. Wait.
Making your girlfriend laugh,
Wait.
however far away she is. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted for all kinds of tricks and treats.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call. Before we continue, could you say the first and third digits of your security PIN? Oh, I didn't catch that. Sorry. That's the second and fourth, please. Okay, lovely. All gone through. Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam. Never reveal your full security PIN, even if you think it's your bank calling. Learn how to protect yourself from fraud.
Sorry, how do I invest?
With confidence. It's not about how, it's about who with. Choose those who help you see future horizons and guide you through the unknown and keep you calm in troubled waters. Choose those who help you plant seeds for fruits of tomorrow and are always behind you, whatever you see. This is the secret.
Money Farm. Invest in your inner peace.
Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. You can listen to Fantastic Radio UK today on LG Smart TV.
Very, very, very good morning to you. How are you? How are you today? You are well? I'm glad. I'm glad to have you. Can I say I miss you? I miss you so much. My young man, my son will say, I miss you. I miss you very, very, very much, Daddy. I miss you guys. I miss you. I was here on Monday, Tuesday, we weren't together, and today, Wednesday, we are together. Good morning to you. How are you? You are well? I am fantastically excited. I am brimming with hope, possibility, joy oozing down my heart. 1, because I'm alive. 2, because I am with you. And 3, we have this relationship that we are going to develop, or we are developing. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad to have you. Last Monday, I got a very beautiful WhatsApp message from a young woman who said, hi, I listened to your conversation on YouTube and I loved it. She called it boundaries moment for me. And she went on saying, whilst you were talking, you were speaking directly to me. And I said, I'm glad. I'm glad that it came through. This is not for everybody. There are people this will not resonate with. I get it. But there are those that it will sound right with them. I'm glad it did for her. And I'm glad it's going to do it for you. How are you? I'm going to be giving you a bit of tidbits here and there, few things I've prepared for this morning. But this morning, our focus is on self-validation. So can I call today Validation Wednesday? Self-Validation Wednesday. All right? It's Self-Validation Wednesday. I want to formally welcome you to this beautiful 23rd, 7:16, so 16 minutes past 7 on this beautiful, lovely day. The sun is going to be out. So if you're in the office, enjoy the sun or enjoy the windows open. I will be working from London, and the windows are all going to be open and the whole place is going to be Sunday. We're just going to let the sun come through. Good morning to the production team and everybody who makes this whole magic happen. I can't thank you enough for the work and the intensity and the research and the reasoning that goes into it. If you are listening on YouTube, good morning to you. Love this union and this whole relationship that we've developed. I tell you a beautiful quote, a beautiful quote I ran into this week. Yesterday. I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, a friend of mine invited me to a pitching meeting, and this meeting was in central London somewhere. Had over about 25 businesses, entrepreneurs looking into investment for a value of about $500,000. And there were a lot of entrepreneurs that came through, a lot of them, amazing people with dreams, with hopes, striving for their possibilities. But a friend of mine had 2 tickets. So he goes, yeah, let's go. So I got it. We went to lovely place, lovely meal, amazing drink. Amazing orange juice and pineapple juice. So we had a beautiful time there. Lovely people, met amazing entrepreneurs, amazing gentlemen who we met there who unfortunately weren't able to run into an investment, but amazing person who we met. It's called Ivan. Ivan, good morning to you, who said he'll be listening today. So Ivan, thank you very much for the conversation we had yesterday. And one of these is I'll get Ivan on our, on this platform. We can have a conversation, getting to know what he's doing and how he's been doing it. And I was so proud of him. He never got an investment, but he went away graciously and he was confident and hopeful. But what led me into this conversation was this beautiful, wonderful, ambitious, humble, confident, self-assured, vulnerable, validatory person that came on the stage. This beautiful mother of 4 who was looking for funding and investment, and she's been running a business. One of these, anyway, let me carry on. You could tell I'm excited. So she came on there and she was sharing her story, and she went on sharing with us and encouraging and sharing her journey and how she came through. So in fact, she was about the 15th person who did the presentation. There was quite a lot of people. So you got a few minutes, introduce your stuff, shoot it direct, let it be known, and you were done and dusted. And after everything, they had to sample the numbers down, and she got into the last set of people. So she come on again and she did a presentation. And there was something unusual about her. I sat there, so I was just in the crowd watching, and I loved something that she displayed. She was ready to be vulnerable. She was ready to put herself out there and be as authentic as she could be. It's 20 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. She came to the table confidently and ready to be vulnerable. And some of the things she was sharing, I felt, that's quite interesting. Can I do this? I don't know whether I could. But she shared and shared just within the few minutes. She shared her story. She was willing to be vulnerable. In the midst of all these people, she was sharing how she struggled with what she was doing and how she has been paying her bills and how she's taking her kids through school and how she's pushing despite the pain and despite the uncertainties that she faced. So after everything, they had to choose who was going to get the investment. And this lady won. She won. This morning, guys, I would love to share with you the importance of self-validation. Hashtag self-validation Wednesday. We're going to do music. When we return, I would love to just have a chat with you and share with you what I have prepared and what we would have to do as individuals. Because we have, many of us, I don't know about you, but many of us have been raised in environments or circumstances, or as we went through life, there's been this unconsciousness that we have tapped into where we want people to validate us. There's this search, right? This consistent desire to want to be approved of and be endorsed by people. Are you familiar with that? Have you been used to that? Or are you aware? Have you come in contact with a person like that? Or are you like that? I have been there before. A lot of these seeking for self-validation and self-endorsement, a lot of it comes from how many of us were raised. How we were raised. Or how a group of people were raised, or how they've allowed themselves with circumstances on life and issues on life or history, globally, governmentally, politically, internationally, to define the way they think. So they are waiting for a certain group of people to endorse them, one, for them to feel approved before they make a move. Hashtag self-validation Wednesday. It's self-validation Wednesday. Guys, I tell you this search for self-validation can cost you. This lady that came through after the whole event, I didn't realize that the gentleman that invited me to come with him to the event knew the friend she had come with. Thank you, Sina. So whilst we were just walking on to our cars, we saw the lady at the car park, and I will tell you what she said when we returned. Good morning to you, and I'm so glad that you are here. If you are looking, sending money to any part of the world, I highly recommend you look at World Remit. When we come back, I will also share with you a few tidbits and updates that they are preparing. But I want to really welcome you to this beautiful conversation, 24 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. My name is Kojo Bonti, and welcome. We're doing music. When we return, I will tell you what the lady said to us at the car park and what World Remit has also got for you. Good morning and welcome.
Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow.
Fantastic Radio UK app can be downloaded today on all app stores.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
The biggest secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal, you can get there if you're willing to work.
Fantastic Radio UK. Your vision, your possibilities.
Possibilities and your music. I'm glad. I am so glad that you are here. Guys, as we welcome back, and thank you for joining us and spending this moment with us. I was sharing with you just before we went through the break, the lady we met. Her name is Eunice. She said, "Don't put me out there yet, Kojo. Don't put me out there yet. At some point, I'd love to come on the show and we can have a conversation." But her name is Eunice, and good morning to you, Eunice. Yesterday, I found your mind refreshing. And if you are watching, I wanted to let you know that I found your mind very refreshing, and I love your journey and your truth and the authenticity with which you came to the table with. And I want to honor you and appreciate you and want to let you know that we all here waving at you, supporting and standing with you. Whenever the business is relaunching, please invite me. No, in fact, I'm inviting myself. How about that? But I tell you what happened when we got to the car park. We were having a chat with Eunice, and she said something profound. But before I tell you what she said, I noticed in her presentation she was sharing, and she shared with us her journey as a single mother and how she has never ever given up on herself. That's why. And how she never goes out there wanting people to feel pity for her. Never giving up, not feeling pity, and not seeking pity from people. Empathy is right, but sympathy, And she said, this is it, Kojo. I have to, and I have to, and I do validate myself every day. Eunice, your conversation with me yesterday is what has led me to have this chat with a fantastic radio audience. She said, I had to, and I have to validate myself every day. So I said, what is that? What does that mean? Or how does that happen? She said, I had to, and I have to, and I do validate myself every day. Because self-validation, depending on where you are coming from, you would have to work on that. came home and I did some research on self-validation. I'll tell you what it is. But this lady, while she was making a presentation, wasn't scared, one, to tell us that, look, there are times where she doesn't have finances. She said, as I'm talking to you right now, all I have in my account is this amount. This lady was ready to show us pictures of where she lived, or where she lived and where she's living now, and where she's working on going to be living. And every one of us in the room could spot, identify, relate to this journey. And she said at every stage or on this journey, she is and has not been scared to put herself out there. How does she do that? She validates herself by the way she speaks to herself. She said, when I came through, I knew very well that the odds were against me. I said, really? She said, when I come into this conversation, when I come into this pitch this yesterday, I said, this evening, I said, yesterday, she knew that the odds were against her. She knew of her weaknesses. She knew that she doesn't have all her ropes in the dark, right? Okay, cool. She knew, she was honest with herself. But she knew very well that if she was going to win, she needed to validate herself by the way she speaks to herself. The first thing, self-dialogue. She went on to say this. I had to decide, check this. She said this, and it just sent me somewhere. She said, I had to decide what my highest priorities were. Or I had to decide what my highest priorities are. What are your highest priorities? In fact, it was Steve Covey who said, you have to decide what your highest priorities are and have the courage, pleasantly, smilingly, unapologetically, to say no to other things. And the way to do that is to having the bigger yes burning inside. The bigger yes inside. You do not need anybody out there to validate you. In fact, I can say this confidently as we go get another, set of music. Right? You do not. When people likes what you're doing and they like it, it's cool. But the first person that needs to validate what you are doing is yourself. Because if you are waiting for that approval, it is never going to come. It is never going to come. For a gentleman who is looking for ladies to approve of you, you are having a laugh. Nobody's going to validate you. You have to wake up in the morning, look into the mirror and validate the man in that mirror. Speak to that person. Speak to your mind. My mind knows nothing except what I tell it. Your mind doesn't know anything except what you focus on or what you tell it. Because your mind is waiting for you to fill it up. The first thing you would have to do, guys, or the first thing we would have to do when it comes to self-validation is to spend time speaking to ourselves. I think we've had this conversation before. Yeah, we have. But let me reiterate. Because whatever you are saying to yourself, you are hearing it. You get it? Whatever you are saying to yourself, you are hearing it. Do you want me to read? You want me to go over the quote of Steve Covey? Steve Covey said, you have to decide what your highest priorities are. In fact, I borrowed this because the young lady said it yesterday, and I had to do a bit of research here. And let me just say what she said. Steve Covey said, you have to decide what your highest priorities are, and have the courage, pleasantly, smilingly, unapologetically, to say no to other things. And the way you can do that is saying a bigger yes to a bigger yes burning inside of you. Every one of us have got a yes. You have your yes to your purpose. You want to work as a care worker? You want to work as a doctor? You want to retrain and go work as a carpenter? You want to retrain and go into the world of medicine or finance? Or what is it that you want to do that you haven't done yet? What is it that you are doing that you sometimes get to that place where you were waiting on a certain voice to validate you, or you're waiting for a certain or an individual with a particular complexion or pigmentation to endorse you? What is that? What is it? And a lot of it comes from how many of us were raised, how many of us were conditioned, many of us, how the stories we were told. You can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Don't do that, my friend. You and I would have to validate ourselves. And one of the things we will have to do is to, first of all, allow ourselves to spend some time with ourselves. The first thing we'll have to do, if I could fast track this and go, be present, right? Be present today. Be present. Because being present of self-validation goes hand in hand with you being mindful of today. This is it, today, the 23rd of March. We have to be mindful of our thoughts and the thoughts we are having and the feelings we are feeling in order to validate our internal experiences. That's the first thing. We have to be present. Because we can be thrown into the future hoping and trusting that something else will happen. No, nothing is coming from the sky. We have to take the responsibility, guys, to validate ourselves. The second thing we will have to do is to engage in honest reflection, making sure we give ourselves an accurate reflection of your feelings, my feelings, by acknowledging your current internal state and labeling it accurately. You get it? Making sure we give ourselves the accurate reflection of our feelings, your feelings, by acknowledging your current internal state. That's what internal current state, and labeling it accurately. It means that we can go past that zone or that season where we don't spot our internal state. How are you feeling right now? As you're driving or as you're listening, how are you feeling? What is the current internal emotional state? Where are you? You're going through divorce. That is what it is. You're going through some challenges. That is what it is. You were excited. That is what it is. You were not sure how you were feeling. It's okay. That is what it is. But knowing that emotion and labeling it accurately puts you in a very, very, very powerful place. Don't forget, we're still dealing with self-validation. Self-validation. Because guys, if we don't spend that time to spot our emotional, our internal emotional state, what happens? We now reach out for other people to endorse us. We now reach out for people to validate us. We're waiting for that person to come through. This lady yesterday said, I knew I was going to get it, but even if I did not get through, I was going to push regardless. What a powerful state of mind. She said to me, Kojo, what I did not have did not define what I can have. I said, you sound very, very philosophical this evening, you know. And she said, what I don't have does not define what I can have. Her possibilities and her sense of self was not plugged in what somebody was going to say or what somebody did. Her mistakes did not define her. Eunice, you got to come through and have this conversation with us. And I'm telling everything here, but I'm telling some of your stuff here. But she was confident. She self-validated herself and had this honest conversation with herself. That's the third one, and third but not the least. It said, use your history to self-validation. We may struggle with self-validation, but use your history. What have you done before? She said, I know I can do this. That's what Eunice said yesterday at the pitching event. She said, I know I can do this because I have single-handedly raised 4 kids by myself. And I have this inner confidence that my compass is right, and I'm ready to be vulnerable, and I'm ready to make myself available to making this business work. One thing the guy who invested said that really, 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 really loved and made me sit up. I will tell you when we return. It's 44 minutes past 7 on Fantastic Mornings. When we return, I'll tell you what the investor said. The gentleman that parted with $500,000. It was such a powerful, powerful conversation and powerful event yesterday night. Let's do music, few commercials. We'll be right back. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. Self-Validation Wednesday. Learning to talk to ourselves. Being honest in a reflective mood. Self-validation, it will go hand in hand in being mindful, being present, and also allowing the history, what you've done in the past, to shape what you're going to do in the future. When we return, I will share with you the 4th thing that we need to do in self-validation and what the investor who parted with $500,000 said yesterday at the pitching event. Welcome and thank you for choosing Britain's home of possibilities. Let's do music. We'll be right back.
The most important characteristics you need to succeed in life are resilience, determination, and persistence. Email us hello@fantasticradio.co.uk.
Drive slowly. Even slower than that. I demand you drive well below the speed limit. And be careful. 10 times as careful. And look at everyone else on the road as if they're homicidal maniacs. In fact, I insist you drive more cautiously than you did on your driving test, because I am your newborn baby. And these are my rights.
If your newborn's making you more safety conscious than ever, check out Britain's most popular place to buy a car seat. Mothercare, for that nerve-wracking, heartwarming process called parenting.
I reserve the right to strip naked in your garden. I reserve the right to put my clothes on backwards in the morning and to wear my palest dress when I'm painting. I reserve the right to remove as many of my clothes as possible when you've just dressed me. And however long you've taken to get me ready and however nice I look, I reserve the right to swap my clothes for some wellies, a tutu and a policeman's helmet, because I am your toddler and these are my rights.
If it's time your toddler had a stylish new outfit, check out our latest fashion ranges at Mothercare. Mothercare, for that exasperating, enchanting process called parenting.
Police operator.
Yes, please come quick.
What's the problem?
He's gonna kill me.
Where are you?
Call is cleared.
Okay, is it 12 Paxton Street?
Yep.
Hello?
Hello, this is the police again.
Oh, yeah, all right
Can
then.
you not speak to me?
No, okay then.
Okay, just say yes or no. Is there a man there that's causing you a problem?
Yeah, all right then.
Okay, I'll send the police to you, okay then?
Yeah, okay, bye.
Domestic violence is a serious crime that accounts for 1 in 4 murders in London. If you abuse your partner, you should know that the police can arrest you immediately. Remember, there are no safe houses for men who commit domestic violence. Metropolitan Police, working together for a safer London.
Sharing stories with you, exchanging life experiences with fantastic music, discussing current affairs. Most of all, it's about you. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK. Your music, your possibilities.
Your music, your possibilities, guys. I'm so glad that you were here and we are having this beautiful conversation. 52 minutes past 7. I'm so glad that you were there and we're having this beautiful, beautiful conversation. Before we go any further, I'm going to share with you the fourth thing that you and I would have to do, and as we strive for self-validation, just in case you are not aware, transferring money to Russia currently has been suspended by World Remit. Okay, so you can't transfer money to Russia at the moment. As things change and as things progress, you would have to go back to World Remit, their website www.worldremit.com, and be able to track and see whether it's started. But currently, worldremit.com is not sending money, and money transfer to Russia has been suspended. Okay, it's been suspended, and soon as it's back, we will keep you posted. But on their website, you'll be able to track and see when the I wouldn't say banned, but currently it's been suspended. So suspended in transferring money into Russia, right? That's what it is. As we begin to wind down and finish our conversation, and wind and finish and close and finish for today's conversation and session, the fourth thing I wanted to share with you, but before I share the fourth one, 53 past 7, I was going to share with you what the investor said after he had parted with $500,000, and it was such a beautiful, humbling remark. He said, and I quote, "She made me feel like a human being." And it was a great lesson for all of us. She said, everybody that came on there as an investor saw me as a money man. They saw me as an investor, which I appreciate. But Eunice saw me as a human being. Such a humbling statement. He said, Many of the people that came to the event as entrepreneurs, as business people, saw him as an investor or saw him as a money man who they were going to make or take $500,000 from. But Eunice, that lady that came through that won the £500,000 of investment, business investment, saw him as a human being. So then he could relate with her. And because he could relate with her, he knew very well that they could engage on a human level. It's amazing how authenticity and self-validation can do for you and with you. My word and my encouragement to you is we and you and I, we would have to learn how to speak to ourselves. We would have to learn to decide what our priorities are, what are our highest priorities. And having the courage to pleasantly, smilingly, unapologetically saying things to other people or other things that does not come to serve, validate our journey. Every one of us is on a journey. Let me also say this, guys, because what I'm saying without putting in this can come across not wanting people. You need people to make your dreams, your possibilities happen. I'm not denying that or discounting that. What I'm driving at is having this relationship with self, the self-validation that comes from self-mastery, the self-love, not waiting for other people to endorse you, not waiting for a particular character or individual who has a particular skin tone or particular voice or some, all these stories and fog that we tend to allow ourselves to embrace, to deny and rob us of it. You and I would have to do that. Self-validation comes as a result of we knowing that we have what it takes to make it happen. Right? We would have to, the fourth thing, we would have to normalize our behavior, having a range of emotions that makes us human. That's the fourth thing. Having this emotion, knowing that we are human, we're going to make mistakes. And there's nothing wrong with you if you do not think you tend to validate yourself. You know what we do here? We don't do no judgment. We just roll with it. And I hope I don't sound all pontificatory and instructive. No, that's not what I'm doing. Don't forget, I'll be your friend on the other side of the radio. Okay? It's something we all can learn. It's something that we can all develop, master as we journey through life. Start the day today learning to speak to yourself. Start the day today reminding yourself and validating yourself. Bear in mind, it's Self-Validation Wednesday. Self-validation can never come from anybody. Self-approval is, in fact, it is what it is on the tin. You are human, so you're going to make mistakes. You are human. There are times where you're going to have negative thoughts. We've had conversations how we can direct and focus our thoughts on things that serves us. Setting boundaries, creating environments where we can develop ourselves to achieving our own possibilities. Your possibility will be what? Becoming a best father. Your possibility could be being part of a team, supporting young people. Right? For instance, there are events coming. Might want to go and support it. Before we even go, where are you going this October? I suggest you look into the Black Business Show in the UK, in Islington. You would have to go to this event. You would have to go. That's another place of you going and learning and discovering yourself and getting to know other people. I will suggest you go to www.the UK Black Business Show. The website is available. You go on there, get the ticket, and it's such a beautiful space. It's such a beautiful space. You go www.ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk. right? And it's such a beautiful place. As I said, I was there last week, the last event they did, and I loved it. I would suggest you go on there. If you have to buy a ticket, buy a ticket. If you have to go and be an exhibitor, please go in there and support this work. This year is going to be brilliant. On the 22nd of October 2022, if we can have the website on our screen, I'll be very pleased. It's the ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk. But if not, it is what it is. Guys, I would want to thank you. I sincerely want to thank you for the support and the encouragement in coming back and engaging with us. I'll be with you on Friday. But most of all, I will say to you guys, have yourself a fruitful and a self-validatory Wednesday. Go into the world, get into your businesses, get into your families, making sure that you validate yourself. Waiting for somebody to come and rescue, it's not going to happen. Waiting for that person to come in to reaffirm you. You will get it from time to time. We all need it from time to time, but please, we cannot depend and be dependent on it. You have yourself a lovely and a beautiful and a cheerful and a self-validatory Wednesday. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you joined me. Let's do Friday. Have yourself a lovely and a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic morning. I want to thank the production team. Carrie, Kirsty, everybody who makes this whole thing happen. I'm glad. Be with you on Monday and take care. Bye-bye for now. My name is Kojo Bonchi Amwako, and I'll say bye-bye.
Your passion is waiting for your courage to catch up.
Fantastic Radio UK. Your life, your possibilities.